And I want to welcome you to our Thursday night Zoom room call. I have Beth on. So I want to start off. I'm just asking you, Beth, are you having any of the 6 points a day? Are you having any places where you're struggling?
No.
So you're able to get seven, so every day you're getting your 6 points without any problems?
Yes.
Okay, so for those that are listening, though, I've noticed that there are just like a couple of places where people seem to struggle. Both exercise and journaling seem to be the two parts. I think people pretty much knock out the breakfast. They get their points every day. They knock out the sleep, water, or quiet time because all they need is one of those to get a point. And low fat, low glycemic 6 times a day or every 2 to 3 hours. They're doing that real well. But the monitor and some people are struggling with support. Just getting on Facebook and making that comment every day, going into Starting With Me and making sure that you make that in Starting With Me and not. So that's one, the support. Make sure you call your coach. Even if, for no matter what, even if just call and leave a voicemail so that you have that, because that's one way to get disqualified. And so for the journaling, I found an app called mytsfl.com, and it's just the easiest way to just click meal, and that's monitoring, and that counts. There's another one called MyFitnessPal. It's another app, and that's really good if you're not on 5-in-1, because 5-in-1 is so limited to just the 5-in. I mean, my TSFL is so limited to just the 5-in-1, but MyFitnessPal, you can just scan in. You can just scan in the bar with your phone, and it knows exactly what it is. It knows the carbs. It knows all of it, and you can put in your exercise for the day. And I know people who use MyFitnessPal and who are on the 5-in-1, but I do want you to know that at the end of the day, it's going to tell you didn't get enough calories. So just disregard that, because MyFitnessPal does not know that you're in fat burning. When you're in fat burning, your body is creating calories, which is basically energy, and you're getting the energy from burning fat. So you're getting the calories. It's just you're not consuming them with your food. You're burning them with your fat. Yay. I love burning them with my fat. So but you should, and then the exercise, if those people who like to just take a walk, it's been really cold across the country, it's really hard to get outside. So, finding things to do inside, I just throw in a DVD and, follow the lady. Or sometimes when I'm watching TV and I haven't done any exercise, I have a couple little 1 pound or 2 pound weights. I'll just work my arms and just try to stretch. But Dr. Anderson has 2 kinds of exercise. He has EAT, which is regular exercise activity, but then he has NEAT, which is non-exercise activity. And people who are just brand new into the 5-in-1, you could actually just sit up. If all you did was just sit up, you're burning more calories than if you slump. If you stand up, you're burning more calories than if you sit. If you walk around, a lot of times I'll just have my phone on, and if I'm talking to a client on the phone, I'll have my phone on. I just walk around my house, with my phone in my hand, just talking and just walking and moving, and that all can count, especially if you're on the 5-in-1. If you're on the 4-in-2, you do need to make sure you have activity. So make sure you know what qualifies according to your program as exercise, and get that point. Also, I want to tell you that I'm not going to have this particular call next week. I'm going to have all of the teams on one call so that we have more ships to rise. There's so many good things that come out of these calls, but not everybody gets to hear the good thing that came out of this call or the good thing that came out of the last call. And so much of the stuff I say is the same. I just say the same thing in each call. So I don't have to say it 3 times. I can say it once. But the questions and the interaction is different on each call. So what if I have one or two from Burn Baby Burn and 4 people from In It to Win It and 2 people from Born to Win, that's 8 people, and it just makes the whole interaction better. So we're going to do it an hour before this one. So this one starts, I think, 6 o'clock Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 o'clock Eastern. It's all going to be 1 hour, so earlier. So it'll be 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. That backwards. I'm getting better at time zones. Anyway, so we're all going to be on the same call, and I think it'll be really, really helpful. I think everybody will get a lot more out of it. And so that's that about the points. And then I wanted to talk about the bonus points. How you doing on the bonus points, Beth? Did you get your books?
No, I didn't. They'd already sent everything.
Okay. So, yeah.
I was going to ask my sister to send me pages of it by email. Take pictures of it.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the only thing I'm liking are the bonus points.
Yeah. So, talking to everybody else, as far as the books go, what I like about the fact that these are bonus points and that, you know, you have to do all 21 of the, is that it's just going to help you lifelong. I mean, it's just like such a good workbook, and there's so much good information. So, so like they might talk about, here's stance, standing, strolling, stairs, samba, and switch. So those are some, speaking of neat and eat, neat. So those are all, just happened to be what I was talking about. But it's like, I recently did lesson 10, and what I liked about it is, you know, it would ask a question, and it would say, explain what a classic yo-yo diet pattern is and how it occurs. And then it tells you the answers on page 151. So, so you just go then to Dr. A's Habits of Health and read just that one page. And then and then you write in the answer. And it just really cements it. Of course, I say it every time I talk to somebody, and just to answer that question, we're motivated by getting rid of something we don't want. We don't want to be fat, or we don't want to be sick, we don't want to hate ourselves in pictures. And then we lose the weight, we look amazing, and we no longer motivated because the motivation's gone. So, then we start the yo-yo. So we're like, hey, I look good. I'll have ice cream. I'll have cocktails. You know, I look amazing. So, so that's one of the things that we work on, is how to change our thought process so that we're really focused on what we really do want. And then the other way to get points is to get friends in the next challenge. And I know you and your sister are going to be on the same team for the February challenge, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that what you guys are talking about? I know Darlette said, can we be on the same team? Did you know that she said that?
Yeah. We were talking about it this weekend.
Yeah. So you guys are going to want to be on the same team, and you might know other people. Like, you know, you might have a sister or your mother, you know, or maybe aunts and uncles, or maybe there's people that you know outside of your family, but you might want to get together a team. And so there's a post in our sorry, I'm going to turn off Facebook so I'm not distracted by instant messages. So hopefully none of your teammates are instant messaging me, but so there's a post in your group that says in Burn Baby Burn, that has exact wording that you can just copy and paste into your onto your Facebook group. and maybe some people will come from that. But there's something we call layers, and what layers is simply, and I know you're familiar with this happening. Somebody invited me, is an example. Somebody invited me to a health fair that I really want to go to, but they invited me one time in a chat, and I said, "Ooh, yeah, I really want to go to that." But then so many other things are coming at me, from email and mail, regular snail mail, and Facebook, that I'm thinking, oh, I really want to do that, but it's going to get by me without me remembering. So there might be people who see that post and say, wow, I really think I'd like to do that. But we have to sort of layer them. So then the next thing, when you see them, go, hey, my sister and I are in a challenge and we're looking for teammates. Maybe you'd like to be on it. So if you get people to be on the next challenge, then they have to have their food by February 3rd to get started on the right date. And make sure they get their books. You can coach them now. You can say, make sure you get your books because you need that for the bonus points. But you can get 5 points for everybody that joins your team. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool way to get extra points. And we're also giving away health coach scholarships. So a health coach kit costs $200. And for people who become health coaches in January, we're going to have a drawing for some scholarships, and we're going to give away several. So the odds of winning one is pretty good. But what's really cool is that the people who are in the challenge, and get to go in the hat twice. So you get, it's for everybody who wants to be a health coach, but the people who are in the challenge get a double chance of getting that $100 off of their coach kit. If you become a coach, and I'm not necessarily advocating it unless you want it. I mean, if it's like something you're thinking, might not be a bad avenue for me, and I know people I could help, and they're going to call me anyway, so I might as well. I mean, you're talking to Darlette, right? I mean, it's like she might as well get paid when you think about it. And that happens when you invite your friend, they're going to call you. I mean, we want them to call their health coach, but they tend to call the person they know. So it doesn't hurt to get paid, and it's nice. It's like, why not get paid, right? But if you decide to do that, or if you would like to know more information and you say, look, I'd like to explore that, I'd like to have a 3-way with my coach and her mentor coach, is what I would do. So in your case, I would have a 3-way with you and Peggy if that was something that interested you, Beth. Or if you're my client and you're watching this, then you would have a 3-way with me and my coach. It's not like we're going to bombard you. It's nothing like that. It's just an exploratory, tell us a little bit more. I'll tell you. I mean, we do not want kit buyers. We don't want people who just buy a kit to get 10 points and then not want to do it. I mean, it'll be all about whether this is a good fit. So I just want to assure you of that. But we'll just, find out, ask questions, and see if it works. So if you decide that you want to do that, that's 10 points for you. And then if you've got a team of 10, that's another 50 points because you get 5 points per person. That's 60 points. That's pretty significant. If several people on the team all started popping as coaches and started creating their own teams, that would definitely help the team win the grand prize. That would shoot us up to the top. But you can still win the prize as an individual, and that's $1,000 prize for the individual. So keep that in mind. Don't hesitate to call. Don't feel like you're going to ever be sold. I can assure you of that. I know I keep saying it, but I just want to, reinforce it. And then of course, ordering food in January gets you an extra 10 points. So with that, do you have any thoughts or questions or comments?
No, not right now.
Yeah. So if you've been following, starting with me on Facebook, Beth was the one that got snowed away from her house. She's back home.
Yay.
Yay.
Glad to be home.
Yeah.
I hated being away from the food. It just bothered me. I like the security of having the food.
I know. That was a hard lesson. I mean, it's a good lesson for everyone else now, to think, oh, I don't want to go in my car without my food. And that's not just if you're expecting a snowstorm. It could be anything. I mean, you could be just going to work and there could be a wreck on the highway and you could be stuck for hours and you're without your food. I mean, have it in the car. And one of the things that I like is I feel free. I feel like if I'm out and someone says, hey, you want to meet me for a cup of coffee? I don't have to go, no, I can't. I got to go home and get my bar because I don't, I only brought one with me and that means I have to be home by this time. I'm like, sure, I'll go and just open up my bar, eat it on the way to coffee and, just keep on trucking. So my friend is she sells little bags, that's her business. And so I have my water in there and I have bars in there and they just stay in there permanently, which is great when you run out of bars and you're like, ooh, I got some in the car, you can rate them. But it's just good to just have them in your car all the time. You don't want bottled water in a car in the summer is the only thing. So.
Or the chocolate bars.
What'd you say?
Or the chocolate bars. Yeah, they don't melt.
Now what I do is I keep those ice packs in my fridge. I have 2 of them and I'm always swapping one out, so in the summertime I put the bottles I always have my ice pack and the bottles and the bars. But every night I bring the ice pack in and every day I take the ice pack back out. I mean, I treat it like a diaper bag,
Right.
I just don't leave without it. And I have it all stocked like I need it in the summer. In the winter, I'm a little bit more lazy and just leave it all in the car. So, well, I'm excited about next week when we'll have more people on and more interaction and more of a conversation because there's a lot of really cool things that come out of these. But, people on this call don't get to know what came out of the call before. And sometimes I forget something. Like the last call, I forgot to tell everyone about, copying and pasting into their Facebook page to see if they can get some friends who want to do the next challenge. So I'm very interested in knowing right now who wants to do the next challenge so that I can start forming my teams. Obviously, I'm only going to take people who are playing. It's really hard to have people on a team that aren't playing. So if you want to play full in, then I want to talk because I think that's the most fun. And if you have friends that want to play full in, then let's get them on board because this is really an awesome program and it's an awesome way to reach our goals. Wouldn't you agree? I
would, definitely. Now, When does it start exactly? It's February 3rd, right?
The day this one ends, the next one starts. So your ending weight, when you send your toes on the scale on the last day, that's going to be your beginning weight.
Is that Super Bowl Sunday or the Monday?
The Monday after Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl Sunday is the last day that you're on this program.
Whole day.
Right. Monday when you weigh in, that's your ending weight. That first thing in the morning when you weigh in on Monday morning, that's your ending weight. You're done with that challenge, and that's the start of the next challenge.
Okay. Ending weight and beginning weight.
The ending and beginning. Yep. On Monday morning when you get out of bed, you end one, you start the next. Whatever time that is. Okay. That's a good question. See, and nobody else got to hear that question. So, and I'm sure they would have what?
I was going to say the other most important is the other forms of the exercise because Darlette's the one that told me about that on Monday. And I lost points because of it from last week because I could have actually had full 42 points last week too.
Because of what kind of exercise?
Because of just keeping posture. I was doing stairs. I was, doing other things besides like a good brisk walk. But
yeah, and that is yes, you're right. That is something that that people need to know is that because I have somebody who's injured, and she's like, I'm injured, I can't get a point there, but she could actually, if all she did was lie on her back and lift her legs, you know, or something very, very mild. You don't have to do, but if just sit, I don't think she could sit straight though. I think her issue is her back. So it might be another thing she can do though. You know,
right.
You know, it's like, what can you do? Can you just stand, you know, at little times? But so yeah, good point. All right, Miss Beth, I appreciate you being on. I'm so glad I'm not just standing here talking to myself. And I
almost forgot. I forgot it was Thursday. My days are all messed up this week.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had school all week, and I'm like, what is today? I keep thinking it's Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't.
Well, good for you for getting on. And like I said, I'll make a big announcement next week. It'll be an hour earlier, and we'll have all the teams on. And I'm learning. I'll tell you something else I've learned is I'm going to thank everybody for watching this. And I appreciate you watching the recording, and let's go team. And I'll see you next week. So I'm going to stop the recording.